Hi YouTube. I got an idea of posting a video on how to make an alcohol stove. Now the thing is that with an alcohol stove like this, you'll get an ambient flame. You also will be able to use rubbing alcohol for your fuel, and the greatest thing is that now you'll have a way of cooking if you're heating oil, or if you run out of heating oil, or if something happens and a blackout has happened and you don't have a way of cooking. So it's a good thing to know. It's a good thing to have, and it's quite honestly really simple to make one just out of a pop can and some rubbing alcohol. So let's get to it. Okay guys, what we've got here is, I'm going to use a Sharpie, and I've got a Coca-Cola can. Don't worry, I do not endorse Coke or anything like that. It's just a can I had laying around. And I'm just going to take my Sharpie on top of this toothpick container. It's about 3/4 of an inch tall, and I'm just going to go around the can and make a solid red line here to just mark that off. Then I'm going to flip my can over, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tab off. Get rid of that. We don't need that. Now I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing up here. Okay, so now I've got 2 lines around my Coke can. I'm good to go. Okay, now here's the tricky part. Well, one of the tricky parts. I'm going to go ahead and you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and try to see if I can use my neck knife here. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut in, and I'm just going to rotate the can down, and I'm going to try to follow that line with my knife. Okay, I'm having issues with following that line real easily. So we're just going to modify things, and I'm going to use the scissors off of the Swiss Army knife. It doesn't really matter how you get there, so long as you get there. And I'm just going to cut the bottom of this off. Just like that. Okay. Now there's going to be sharp edges on this thing, so that when we're done, you know, I'm probably going to take my file to it and just run my file along it real quick and get rid of some of the sharp edges. I'm going to trim that a little bit there. Okay. So now then that I've done that with the bottom portion. Also, at this point, if you haven't washed out the can, now is a good time to do that, because you'll never really be able to get on the inside of this again. And if you've got a whole bunch of syrup or whatever in the bottom of the can, it can, no pun intended, have an issue with the alcohol. So just something to be aware of. Just you want to have a clean can. So there you go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of this off. And while I'm at it, I'm going to rip that off to make it easier for me. And I'm just going to come right in to it and follow that line. And then I'm just going to follow along, trim it up. Okay, now I got that trimmed up. Now then, what am I going to do is I'm going to see this top of this Coke can right here. I'm going to get rid of that. The reason for it is it's easier to pour the alcohol in, but more than that, it's actually a really good base for the fire to come through. You'll find that out later on once we fire this thing up, but anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to come along the inside here. And I'm just going to start taking this top of it out piece by piece. Once again, guys, understand that it doesn't exactly have to be perfect, and a lot of this flash and extra stuff I can just get rid of it just by running my knife shaving it off. Okay. Now then, you have something like this. And the thing is here is we are going to go ahead at this point, just because it's simply easier to do this. You're going to put holes in the side of this rim right here. Basically what you're going to want is you're going to want big holes. The bigger the hole, the more airflow you'll get in, and that's really important to this thing. If you have little big holes, you're not going to get the airflow. If you don't get the airflow, you're not going to get the flame that you need. So when it comes time to cook, you're not going to be able to cook as well. So, you know, understand that you're going to need some really big holes here. Which is okay, because as long as you have them evenly spaced, you'll still have the structural integrity to hold up pretty much whatever. You'll see that in a minute. So anyway, we're just going to bore in there and make some big holes. Okay, so now we got some pretty decent sized holes in this thing. Okay, and that's what we're after. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're just going to cut little cuts into this thing, into the sides. And now that we got all these little cuts in the flanges, we're just gonna bend those in a bit. Just work around the edge. So now you have something like this. Okay, now here's the tricky part. You're going to want to fit this top piece into this bottom piece. And okay, that went in almost too easy. The first one that I ever made was that was a trick. Okay, now that I made this and it fits down in there, we have a problem. We see that the flange on the bottom piece is longer than the air holes. Uh-oh. Well, the easy way to fix that is to just trim your bottom piece. No big deal. I understand these aluminum edges are really sharp, so you know, try not to cut your hand off or anything. Alright, so now we have a finished alcohol stove from a pop can. Let's see if it fires up. Okay guys, for fire safety, I'm doing this in the sink. Always be safe, especially in your house. Anyway. But this way, if something were to horribly go awry, I have water right here. So anyway, I'm going to take just a little bit of this alcohol and I'm going to pour it in the top. It's nothing special, just regular 70% isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and we're going to light it. I just lit through the side of the air hole. There you go. And it's going to take them a minute for it to fully take off, because what will happen is eventually the alcohol will start boiling inside of this thing, and when that happens, then it really catches fire and it's really good. But anyway, once you start hearing it boiling stuff inside there, that's when you know it's good to put a can on top of it or a canteen. The easiest way to put this thing out is to either let it burn out or to try to blow it out. Now understand that alcohol, when it's burning like this, it is pretty susceptible to wind, so that's why I can blow it out at this point. Now after this thing gets boiling for a while, that's really hard to do. I appreciate your comments, I appreciate your views, I appreciate your time. Defend your homes wisely.